Okay, our lesson today, our weldment today is going to be a vertical T weld, our vertical T weld with E6010, E6010, and I'm going to show you how to set up that weldment and how to weld it out. So you're going to need three pieces of quarter inch by inch and a quarter. Um, so you've got two pieces here that you're going to use for your T, and then you're going to use a scrap piece, and I'll show you what what you're going to use for that in just a minute. So the first thing you're going to do is we're going to set up a T fillet weld like we've done in the past for some of our other weldments, and we're going to tack that in place. Okay, so we're going to tack that in place. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. And I've got a spare piece of electrode rod stub here that I'm going to use to tack my T into position. Okay. Let me raise my table up here just a little bit. And remember, we always tack on the ends. We never tack on the inside of the weld where we're going to be welding. Okay. Once we have our T tacked in place, then we're going to take a scrap piece of flat bar and we're going to set our T at about a 45-degree angle as such. All right. And you don't have to get uh, a square or T bevel or anything like that to make sure, but just get it at some sort of angle here and then tack it to this scrap piece of metal so that it will stay at that angle. Okay, so I'm going to tack it right here on the bottom so that it'll stay at that angle. Okay, and we want to give it a good tack so that while we're cleaning it and everything, this tack does not break. All right, so we're going to set it up here and then we're going to tack it in place. And I'm having a booger of a time this morning. May need to crank my amperage up just a little bit. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, now the purpose of this weldment is to start you in some out of position welding. Okay? Again, we're using E6010. Your first pass that is closest to you is going to be a 2-pass. And so you're going to make a pass in the upward position. Your first one, your electrode is going to be flat, almost vertical with your weld. And again, we're using 60-10, so we're going to be doing a little circular motion, okay, as we start welding up. Okay, and you can turn it around if you need to, so you're welding this way, however is comfortable to you. All right. So we're welding up. All right, I'm welding, I'm welding away from the camera so you guys can see here. Okay, so we're welding in a circle here. Our next weld, just like we've done in the 1G position or in the flat position, is going to be on top of that toe, and we're going to weld it in a circle as well in the up position. Now the trick is to keep that electrode at the same angle as I'm traveling up. All right. Now the key to this weld is we want to weld this one kind of at an off angle side. So when you weld this one here, all right, if you flip it around, that's kind of cheating yourself. You're not learning anything. Weld it this way. Weld it offhand, and you can do it. All right. Bring your electrode over on this side. Okay. And if you're more comfortable doing a 2-pass, then do your 2-pass on this side. I'm more comfortable doing a 3-pass. All right, because that 45, 45, 45 works better for me on this side. Okay. 45 circles, and then 45 circles on the bottom toe, 45 circles on the top toe. All right. Mr. Clark, why are you having us do this weld? Not everything that we do in the field is going to be sitting at a nice table, sitting here like this, welding like this all day. Sometimes we're going to have to be out of position a little bit and have to lean a little bit over this way, or maybe do something a little bit backhand. Okay, so this is going to kind of get us out of a regular position of just welding in one position. Okay, so we're starting to do a little bit of a vertical of a 2G position, and so let's see how well we can do it. Okay, so I'm going to turn it because I'm not left-handed, so I'm not going to weld to the left. So I'm going to turn it and weld it. Now here's something you may want to think about too. In order to keep this from moving around too much, take your ground clamp and clamp it to the bottom of your plate, and that'll help keep it steady as well. Right? And then as you're welding, it'll help hold it in place. Right? So again, on the side towards me, I'm going to weld a 2-pass, and then over here, I'm going to weld a 3-pass. Right? So here we go. And I'll probably weld this one out as much as I can. So this may be a pretty long demonstration, but please stay with me so you can see how it's done. And again, I'm just using a circle motion as I work my electrode up, watching to make sure that I'm filling up that gap between where the two pieces of metal meet. And this is going to be a fairly long video because I want to weld this thing completely out for you, because this is kind of an oddball weldment, not like your normal Okay, there's what my first pass looks like. Okay, and a two and a one and a two pass. That's what my first pass looks like. Okay. My second pass, okay, my second pass, I'm going to come in right at the top of that toe, and again start my circle motion right at the top of the toe, and again about 15 degrees in direction of travel, but forcing that electrode right in where that weld stops and the metal meets. So right on top of that toe. All right. And again, I'm using the circle motion. Those of you that are doing the whip and pause or the stitch motion, same principle, same principle. Okay. And it's up to you. Sometimes you can move your plate back, just your teeth back just a little bit, so you can start here on the bottom of your plate. But it's up to you. And let me hold on to it so it don't go anywhere. And we got okay. And that's what my second pass looks like. Okay, that's what it looks like right there. That's what it should look like. You can see. All right. If you look real close, you see about a third or less of that first pass. You see majority of the first pass. Not a lot. There's some undercut, not a lot of undercut on there. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. All right. Then we're going to put it right back into the position. All right. And then we're going to get into some out of position welding. Some out of position welding. All right. And again, whatever of these two passes you are the most comfortable with, use that on the reverse side. I'm more comfortable in the three pass. Okay, and so that's the one that I'm going to do on this side over here. Okay, so again, I'm going to come over here, I'm going to strike my arc. And this metal is really getting hot because this 6010 loves to burn hot. And you can smell that nice 6010 electrode smell. Okay, and I've got quite a bit of slag on here. Chip it off a little bit. Burning my gloves, which as it should be. There we go. That weld's looking better now that I take the slag off of it. Okay. There's my first pass. There's my first pass. Okay. So now I'm going to set it up. And I'm going to crank my amperage down just a little bit because that metal is really, really getting hot. Now, my second pass is going to come in at the bottom toe of that first pass. Bottom toe of that first pass. Okay? That's the pass I'm looking for. That's the weld I'm looking for. Okay? Now, if you need to move this closer, get it set up to where you can see it. All right, we're going to pull over just like we did before. Strike our arc on the plate. Carry it up. Need to turn on my exhaust fans. It's smoking me out. I don't have them on so you can hear me chat. Okay. Okay. There's my second pass. All right, my second pass, I'm already starting to cover up that first pass. You can see the majority of it. All right, now, my last pass, my final pass. My final pass is going to go right at the top toe of that first pass. I can still see that first pass right there. So I'm going to run that final pass right across right there. And when I'm done, I should see about a third of this second pass that I put right here. Understand? Okay. So I'm going to run it right across the top right there. And when you guys come in Friday, I'll have this all cleaned up, all wire brushed up, nice and clean so that you will be able to see it. Okay, here we go. And again, we're going to strike our arc down here on the bottom of the plate. We're going to get ourselves in position. We're going to strike our arc on the plate, carry it up. Notice I'm not doing very big circles, keeping it about the width of the electrode as I'm moving on. Putting the arc where I want it. Pointing that arc where I want it. Okay. Okay, this plate is smoking hot right now, ladies and gentlemen, because I've just ran 5 passes on there without quenching it. Okay. All right. But there you can see, you look real close. If you look real close, and I know it may be difficult on your monitors, I've cleaned it a little bit right here. You can see this last pass. You can see just a little bit of my second pass right here. None of the first pass. This is what it should look like. I do have some slag right here. I will clean this up real good with a wire wheel and have it all nice and shiny for you for whenever you come in Friday, whenever you come in to take a look at it. All right, but this is how your weldment should be. Again, don't cheat yourselves. Don't cheat yourselves on this, okay? Keep the metal turned around. Get yourselves out of position. Get yourselves out of position. Put that electrode over here. And I don't care which one you do on the offhand side. You can either do the 2-pass or the 3-pass. As a matter of fact, I would rather you have me come watch you do the 2-pass or the 3-pass on the offhand side. Okay, so whenever you're doing the offhand, let me know so I can come watch you. All right. And so that is the next weldment that you will be doing. And if there's any questions, let me know. You know how to get a hold of me. Email me, reach out to me. Other than that, I'll see you in the booth. I'm out.